Now, in case you're wondering if Nutanix has any street cred, I told you that we have street cred, right? We bought D2iQ, we incorporated it, we integrated it, right? And Forrester and Gartner actually put us in a very good place. So we're emerging. I don't have the Gartner slide in here because it like just came out and I didn't capture an image of it anyway. Um, Here's Nutanix under Forrester Wave multi-cloud container platforms. There we are, right there in the same quadrant as Red Hat and SUSE. Um, Marantis moved down, by the way. We moved up, and we're in the emerging quadrant. I think it's the upper left-hand quadrant of the Gartner one for container orchestration. Now, you're convinced now that Nutanix is a good solution for containers. I'm sure of that. But what are you going to do with containers? Where are you going to start using containers? Well, you can start here with AI. Do you realize that AI is a container-based workload? Um, and it needs a bunch of other stuff too besides containers. But you need people skills. But it could be the same people that are doing the Kubernetes stuff. Containers need access to GPUs, all that good stuff. Now, not every LLM needs access to a GPU, but you can think of containers or you can think of AI simply as software that runs in containers, right? And you want to be able to deploy that in your organization. Well, at least 50% of you do, right? Now, why are we talking about this? Because Bain said that half of you are interested in AI, and about an eighth of you are already at it. Adoption is expected to surge up to 89%, according to ChatGPT, except in Texas. Texas is only in about the 16% interest range for AI, but I think we can bump that up a bit. Maybe we can double that. Maybe we can double the interest in AI in Texas to 32%, which is about what the experts say our chances here in Dallas are of making it to the playoffs. 32%. Maybe we'll use AI to give us a better chance, right? But AI also requires um, an LLM, right? If you want to use LLM, you got to pick a model, not a runway model, but a language learning model. And there are a lot to choose from. You may even need or use multiple models at once, not in the same sense as Odell Beckham Jr. or Ron Gronkowski. We're not talking about those kinds of models, but rather in the sense that LLMs can be developed for specialized purposes or specialized types of inferencing. And new ones are being developed at a very rapid pace daily, right? There's a bunch of them out there. So, how do you decide which ones to use? Well, as you could imagine, Nutanix helps you figure this out. Nutanix helps you put all of it together, right? So we have this thing called Nutanix Enterprise AI. It's all about creating the right platform that's simple to operate, flexible, and adaptable for any use case that leverages AI. Enterprise AI starts with cloud-like infrastructure, that's us, with resilient, secure, and simple day two operations. For an AI platform, you must have a critical component, which is storage, AI-ready storage. We have that built in. It's called Nutanix Unified Storage. We already talked about the fact that AI as a workload that runs in containers, right? Another critical piece is databases. Guess what? Nutanix has a database platform. It's called NDB, right? See how all the pieces start to kind of fit together for containers and for this net new modern workload that we call AI, right? We can keep this going. Inferencing, vector databases, retrieval augmented generation, right? Making AI better and more relative to the data that we provide. We can run this in dark sites, right? So you don't have to be connected to the internet to run this stuff. And we package the whole NAI thing up together in what we call GPT in a box, right? So that GPT in a box is more of a SKU than a product, if you will. But there's a lot of differentiators that Nutanix brings to this model, right? So we give you all the bits and pieces that you need to do a turnkey AI stack, including container orchestration, including storage, including the ability, a UI, not a bunch of command line stuff, but a UI that allows you to go get the model that you want, download it, install it, manage it, monitor it, know what it's doing, scale it. Okay. All that good stuff comes in a turnkey solution. Now, does that mean you need the entire turnkey solution? Do you need GPT in a box? No, because if you already have a container platform that you're happy with, we can deploy Nutanix Enterprise AI on that. If you're in public cloud and you leverage public cloud platform already, we can deploy NAI on that just as its own piece. But so what is NAI? It's the solution that allows you to go get the model, download the model, deploy the model, create the keys, and manage the models that you have. You got to have models. Again, not supermodels, not glamour models. You're not going to try to hire Giselle because Tom Brady will get mad at you, or maybe he won't get mad at you anymore. Anyway, not that kind of model, but the model that does inferencing and answers smart questions, right? You know any models that answer smart questions? Well, I do. There's a bunch of them on the internet, and they're free. Actually, not all of them are free. The internet best ones are not free. They've got this token model. We won't get into that, but the last thing I want to talk about to you or talk about with you today, we talked about adoption, we talked about customers. I want to really narrow in on this little guy down here at the bottom. Maybe you've heard me talk about that before. Net Promoter Score of 90 on a 10-year average, right? If you're trying to de-risk your investment in a thing, if you're trying to find a little whoopee to wrap around yourself that makes you feel good and protected and comfortable. The 90 NPS score has to be just that. What that means is that when you have trouble and you call into Nutanix for support, you will get support. And our customers give us an A and have been giving us an A on support for 10 years. That I just I see this number and I'm like, how is that? How do we do that? The way we do it is we are myopically focused on your success. Now, if you're thinking about Nutanix some more, we can get into some other things. Test drive. We've got a couple of websites here. You can just Google for a Nutanix test drive. You can Google for VMware alternatives. We got a lot of material out there that you can read and go through. I talked about a little bit of it today. But what are some next steps you might have? Well, I'm going to turn over to my friend Benjamin Krill. And I'm going to give you a prediction. I'm going to give you a prediction, playoff prediction. No, not prediction, record prediction for Dallas. Right here we go. I predict that Dallas is going 11-5 this year. 11 arrests, but only 5 convictions. Thank you very much, Krill. Back to you, my friend.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Dennis. I mean, Dennis gave us a lot of great information. So you may be thinking, all right, that's fantastic. Where do I get started? So let us help you out. So one of the things that we do is we do monthly office hours. So if you're looking to learn more, or maybe you just want to help celebrate my birthday because it happens to be next Wednesday, come join us for the monthly office hours. So we'll talk about things around like, hey, how do I get started on a Nutanix journey? But I'm mostly cloud. Dennis mentioned some of the solutions can run on your cloud native, or I've already started doing some container stuff, so I think I'm too far down the road for using the Nutanix solution. Not true. We could talk about how we can manage your existing as well as help you expand it. So come to those office hours. We'll typically have a little bit of content at the front end to kind of give start the conversation, but then after that, it's open. Any question you have related to Nutanix, happy to have those conversations with you. If you want to get hands-on with it, Dennis and I will be co-hosting a hands-on lab boot camp around NKP. So obviously NKP, if you're traditionally in the data center infrastructure, it's a little bit new to you. So let's help you get started on that journey, get your hands on with it, get some experience with it, so it doesn't seem so new and potentially having a little bit of that fear of the unknown. Will help get you moving along that learning curve. And as we talked about, we have migration jump starts to help you get moving along. If you need just a little bit of a kickstart, let us help you out with that journey. We'll set up the move appliance. We'll walk you through a couple of those migrations. And the nice thing is that tool is available to you ongoing. It's not a one-time thing. It's not a, hey, I'm migrating off of VMware. If you've got some workloads that are out in Azure, we maybe need to bring it back, or maybe we need to take it out to Azure. You can continue to use that, and we can walk through all those different scenarios. So we've got jumpstart services for that. Let us help you out. Those are on our website, and I'm happy to provide some more information around that.